How y'all doing? I'm Paul Ryan, your host of the Across the Cowboys podcast. If you're new to the show, thank you for joining us. And to our regular listeners, welcome back. With me, as always, is my co-host, the greatest co-host in the world, Mike the Pig Crum. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm a little upset on the day after Dak gets his extension. Brenden brings a Tony Romo jersey. God.
Totally.
Number 9. That's some bull. That's all I'm saying. It feels a little racist. It feels racist. It's a Turpin jersey, people. Just chill. But, yeah, I'm doing good.
And speaking of Romo, man, I didn't get a chance to watch that Drew Bledsoe video about how Romo was acting after taking this job, but I'm interested to see that.
Yeah, he just basically said, like, Tom Brady was always interested in what did I do? What did you see? What did you – and Tony Romo got the job and was like, I got it, dude. I know what I'm doing. Like, he was, like, not trying to get help or listen. He was like, I got all the answers. So – if that feels very Romo. Romo was awesome. Romo was a better quarterback than Drew Bledsoe, but that feels very Romo that he was like, no, I'm good. I got it. Like that's not great, but it feels on point for Romo.
Par for the course when you hear about how everything got handled between him and Dak, right?
Yeah, and just how he is on the field, like. Everybody knows that half of Garrett's plays where he was like he changed at least half their plays. And I'm talking minimum. I'm not even being hyperbolic. Like minimum, he got to the line and was like, I'm changing the play. Like half the time minimum. So yeah, and he was good as shit by the year 8, 9, 10. He was a monster at it. He helped the team because Garrett was terrible at play calling.
Yeah. Well, Mike, where can we find you on Twitter, sir?
Letter C, letter D, Piglet, guys. Nice and easy.
Of course, no show is complete without Mr. Brenden Fergy Smith. Brenden, how are you?
It's Victory Monday. I feel great, but we won. But at what cost? That's how I felt yesterday.
Brenden, yesterday had to be a little bit bittersweet for you.
Yeah, we blew them out, which made me feel better, but, I didn't care. By the time Fergie got hurt, the game was already put away. So all in my mind was thinking about, please be okay. Please be healthy. Please don't be out for the season.
Well, thankfully the torn ACL was avoided for Fergie, thank goodness.
You would see me heartbroken. Like this show tonight, I would be legit in the dumps.
I think he's one of those dudes we were talking before. He's one of those dudes, you lose him, you have a really low chance of the offense would not be the same without him. He would be nearly impossible to replace.
I hear you. Well, Brenden, where can we find you on Twitter, sir?
You can find me at Brenden_Smith26.
I'm Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. Well, football is officially back, and what better way to celebrate than with a Victory Monday? Of course, we will discuss the Cowboys' 33-16 dismantling of the Cleveland Browns. But before we discuss anything football related, we must discuss one thing and one thing only. Of course, I'm referring to my personal favorite segment, Meatless Monday. Mike, what was on the menu today?
Breakfast, I went to a place that I like. I'm surprised I'm allowed in there. It's called Cup of Joy. It's like a Starbucks place, but it's a very religious place. Like it's religious music, stuff like that. And y'all know that that's not really me. But they have really good coffee, and they have delicious breakfast items and pastries and stuff. So I went in and had something there that was meatless, a little burrito. And then for dinner, I did some roasted Brussels sprouts in a gochujang honey glaze. And I'm not a Brussels sprouts person, but there's a couple of applications. I'll eat them, and this is one of them. They're pretty damn good.
That sounds really good, man. Brussels sprouts have made quite the comeback, but roasted with the gochujang sauce, that sounds good.
Yeah, there's one with bacon and red wine vinegar, and there's the gochujang honey, and that's about the only two ways I'll eat Brussels sprouts. They have that; it eliminates that aftertaste, that sprouts aftertaste. It's good.
I got you. Well, all right, boys. Well, I lied. I said we would talk some football before the game news. But before the game, the news broke, and Cowboys Nation was blessed with the news of a new deal for our franchise quarterback, Dak Prescott. Mike, what was your initial reaction when you heard about Dak's new deal?
Too late, and not because I wanted him signed early. the CeeDee Lamb thing came down, and a person I talked to there, a friend of mine, told me, hey, it's coming out this week by Friday because they want to have the time to, to take over the news. And then it ended up coming out Monday. And I had mentioned it to our friend Nick. Everybody knows here that watches this regularly, Nick Herrera. And then it didn't drop till Monday. And I told him, I was like, dude, the guy told me it's been done. They're just sitting on it. And he was like, I assumed Thursday or Friday after the game, they drop it and they didn't. So it's 3 days late on that. And then the Dak one on Thursday, the guy hit me up and was like, hey, Dak's done. So expect it to be announced Friday. Mess with the Eagles more than likely. And I was like, okay. And then it dropped Sunday. But I didn't say anything this time because I was like, you know what? Just because it's done doesn't mean that Dallas is going to announce it. And it turns out Mike White, who we all know, big Cowboys guy, is close to an insider as you can get on there. He was like, it was done Wednesday. He was telling people that it was done Wednesday. So he even had a day earlier than me, and they didn't drop it till Sunday. So that was my initial reaction, was like, you should have dropped it Friday, man. But I'm just glad it's done.
Brenden, what about you?
So I woke up to this news, and I woke up to the alert from. First off, I'm bummed because ESPN app gives you an alarm or whatever, like 3 hours after something happens. But I woke up and I yelled really loud, F yeah, because I'm like, thank God. It's not like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be so much better now. No, but you can actually want to compete for the future. Good job. Like, you showed incompetence until now, but it felt great.
And then he put his Romo jersey on and got ready for the podcast.
Oh, it's so ready for the podcast.
I know I saw you guys texting in our little group chat on our messages via the phone, and I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, I saw somebody text something like, we're the next 4 years, thank God, and Mike responded with something. I'm like, 4 years? I'm like, oh, this has to be a new deal, and it was Dak, and I was elated. That made my day. Wasn't. I don't know. I wouldn't say I wasn't expecting it, because I thought, listening to Brian Broaddus talking on the fan, he thought that that was the case earlier in the week. And when they had announced it over the weekend, I was like, well, maybe a deal hadn't got offered yet. But yeah, just a big sigh of relief for me, knowing that Dak's going to be here the next 4 years for sure.
All the Shedeur Sanders to Dallas is gone. All the Trey Lance is the future is thankfully gone. It's just there's so much more peace. We can talk about football. Look at this.
I spent the next couple of hours going through all my bookmarks of people that were like, thank God, I can't wait. Jerry's getting rid of him. You're going to be an idiot. Because I was telling people, I'm like, dude, it's going to get done. Y'all don't know how the Cowboys work. It's going to get done. They just like to be in the news and hold it forever and this and that. And I had the info already. So I was like, I had already gotten the bookmarks because I was like, oh, the minute this news drops, I'm destroying. And so, yeah, that was fun.
So, how does, now that Dak's deal is done, how much does that change your outlook about this season, if at all, Brenden?
Not at all. Like, Dak was going to be here. He was going to play his heart out. Like, that's who he is. But this shows you pay CeeDee Lamb, your all-pro wide receiver, top 3 receiver, and now you pay your MVP runner-up quarterback. Wait a minute. You actually want to compete in the next few years? I guess you actually might. Like, that's all it shows. Like, hey, we actually want to be competitive and actually relevant.
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
No, that nailed it. It doesn't change anything. Dak is the reason you pay Dak is because of that answer. You knew if there was no deal done, he'd play he'd play the exact same way. And you know how we know? Because he did it already. On a franchise tag, no long-term money, went out there, destroyed his leg. He was not going to not perform because he wanted to wait to get a contract. That's not the way he works. And I get it. He hasn't been the guy in the postseason the last 3 years. I understand we want him to do better and everything. But as far as the intangibles of a leader at that position, he's Patrick Mahomes in that area. And so, yeah, zero worries about how he'd perform this year. So no changes.
Did you ever get the sense that Dak didn't want to be a Cowboy?
I think he got more annoyed with he's annoyed at the attention it gets and the fact that I think he knew that this deal was obvious. Like I think he knew, like the agent and him are sitting there going, "Come on, we know it's what it is. $60 million, $1 more million guaranteed to DeShaun Watson. Like we've known this for a year now. Why can't we just get it over with?" And Jerry's like, what about this? And then drags it out because he wants the topics to come up. Is Dak leaving? Mm-hmm. What Jerry paying? What's wrong with them? Like he didn't care about the bad. He just wants it to be press. He didn't really care about the bad press because in the end, he's like, well, in the end, I'm going to sign him. So whatever. They're just going to say I failed this and that. And so, I think he gets annoyed with that and the fact that anywhere else the deal would have just got done, same money, same everything, and it had been over with. But I don't think he wanted to leave because winning, if you're able to win in Dallas, it's going to be different than anywhere else. If he went to the Rams and Stafford left and they won, McVay got another good quarterback over the top. If he went to the Niners, they went to a better team and he was able to get over the top. Good for him. But winning here is different. That 30-year drought, it's going to hit different if he can do it.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. You mentioned DeShaun Watson getting paid $1 more million total than DeShaun Watson. What do you think about that, Brenden? How crazy is that?
It's we make fun of our front office, rightfully so. Like we have every right to do it. Yeah. You don't do your due diligence on anything, and you say, you know what, F it. We just made a playoffs with our first overall pick quarterback. We won our first game in forever, and we're gonna trade 3 first-round picks in a fully guaranteed deal. You want to think you want to do a little bit of research to see how he's played and like what he's been doing to train, and also off the field stuff because now he's another allegation going on him. We're not gonna get into that, but like he woke up and he has another allegation on him.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
Like I just don't understand if Dallas did that. So let's just say we didn't have Dak. Like we had Andy Dalton did well and he's here or whatever, and so we're gonna go trade for a dude. I want everyone doing their learning what he did as a child. Like I want all this 3 first-round picks and a fully guaranteed $230 million contract. I want to know everything about this guy that even his family doesn't know about. And then you do this, and that's just – I hate it because Baker Mayfield is still in the Browns. I didn't like Baker Mayfield in college because I thought he was a douche. But in the NFL, he kind of warmed up to me. I would like the Browns, but single-handedly because of DeShaun Watson, I despise them. Like, Myles Garrett's a phenomenal player. Amari Cooper, I love. You can't not like Amari. It's impossible. Nick Chubb's a phenomenal dude and a beast of a runner. Like they have phenomenal players, and you see DeShaun, like, why would you want to root for that?
I so agree. Like I love their style. I love their coach. I love their
Stefanski.
But I can't root for him because that dude is the quarterback there. So and worst contract in NFL history.
By far.
It's awful.
Yeah, probably so. I'd have to agree with that. Probably worse than taking what's his name? Mitch here. Tony Romo jersey. Who was it? The Raiders took number 1 overall from LSU. That was like the
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus
Russell.
But that was a draft pick.
Yeah, I would much rather do that. Like
I know, but he still got paid so much money, and he was like the all-time bust.
Yeah, he was the all-time bust, and this was the all-time worst contract. Those are the two. Yeah, that's the two right there.
I feel bad. I can't quote who said. Say who said this. But I remember someone was talking about, DeShaun Watson finally might be a better person than an NFL player now. And we know how that is. I'm sorry. If I can find it, I'm going to try to hunt for that after the game so I can, give them their credit. But that's awesome.
That's a great line.
So sticking with Watson here, is DeShaun Watson officially cooked, Brenden?
Oh, but yeah. We know who he was going into this game. him breaking off tackles pissed me off a little bit. I'm like, really? And then him flaunting that first down run in garbage time. Like, really? Yeah. Wait, I forgot, was it Leofau or was it Nealon who pointed up to the scoreboard after that?
Yeah, it was one of the linebackers.
Yeah, I think it was Leofau.
Love that.
Yeah. I that's the thing that pisses me off most. You can celebrate, have like little hugs if you score a touchdown late because like maybe it's a guy who doesn't score that much or whatever. Yeah. You're done. The game's over. Dak has a hat on. Cooper Rush is about to come on the field. The game's over. You did nothing. You lost your team the game. Good job.
Yeah. Mike, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think he's cooked, and I think the reason it's cooked is this new allegation that just dropped from 2020. You know, that I have no idea about this, but that really feels like a team leak. Like, you know, just after that performance and everything like that, all of a sudden this thing drops out, you know, and that feels very much like is it possible to get out of this country?
No, if he gets suspended one more time, they can void the rest of his guaranteed money.
See, I didn't even know that, but that's where my thoughts went. is you know, this was, it's not like the lady went to the police yesterday. Like this is something that happened, and then all of a sudden we found out about it after that performance. Like,
isn't it essentially like his 27th or whatever?
28th, I think.
Okay,
yeah, 28th.
I've talked to this on Twitter before, or like recently. Like, women could be like some of them could be trying to go for money and all that. Some of them like are just like or get paid off. 28 people can't be wrong on something. I'm sorry. I can't believe they're all in it for the money. They all agree, like, hey, we're all gonna say this about him. No, if it's like 3 is still crazy. Like 1 is crazy. You don't want this for any person ever. But 3, maybe they all band together. 28.
It's still allegedly.
I know.
It's still, you know, that and that and that. But it's.
But 28 people.
Not a good look. For sure, not a good look.
Oh.
I did not know about this latest allegation, but man, that's just insane, dude. Like, I don't even know what to make of it anymore. But add that to the type of person he is off the field, and then what we saw yesterday. I mean, he's down horrendously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Amari, to be honest. Don't put Jameis in there. That team, I can root for the Browns hard if Jameis is their quarterback.
So would I.
For sure, yeah. I feel bad for the Browns, man.
No, I don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad for them because the allegations that came out before they did this, they were known about, and so if you're willing to go, we're going to overlook that to do this.
No, that's true.
I was like, don't feel bad for their front office or their ownership. They have all this money, they have all these weapons to go look at and stuff, and they didn't. They just see, big name. Yeah, he's on the trade block. There's a reason why he was. Other than money, because Bill O'Brien was awful, but like other than that, there's a reason.
Yeah, facts. Mike, which player had the best game for you?
Okay, so
I know this is going.
The easy answer could definitely be Parsons. 9 pressures is crazy, and he made so many plays just by being on the field. That's the amazing thing about him. But when you hear the tackles are going to be out and everything, you kind of expect your all-world edge to dominate.
Yeah.
DeMarvion Overshown, bro, led the team in tackles, blew by Parsons on a play where he made Parsons look slow, running after DeShaun Watson as a spy. Anytime he was in coverage and it was thrown at him, caught down. Like, he was right there. Like, he looks like the next, when you saw Parsons, you were like, all right, we got a special edge. And then Diggs becomes interception machine all pro, and you're like, all right, we got a special corner. This dude looks like the linebacker of that. He looks special, not just like he looks special. Like, let me ask you something right now. Like, he had 11 tackles. So through 17 games, about 177 177 tackles would be the average right now. If I gave you the over under 150 tackles for Overshown if he's healthy all year, anybody picking under on that?
No, he's flying.
No.
He's flying, dude.
That's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Overshown, even though if we're being the real about it, Parsons just being on the field was nuts.
Brenden, how about you?
I got 2 quick shots and I have my actual answer because I feel like Mitch kind of just spoiled who I'm gonna talk about. But first off, we gotta talk about Cooper Beebe real quick. 0 pressures. He did miss some assignments though because he could have helped Martin on that first drive because he was just kind of looking where to block. But still, a rookie center against that D line, 0 pressures, 0 sacks. Damn.
And then also, a rookie center is never going to look at Zach Martin because in his mind, he's like, I ain't got to help him.
Yeah,
I'm looking at Guyton or even Tyler Smith, who's in his second year. The rookie center, Zach Martin went to him and said, I don't ever need your help, dude. Unless the play's designed, don't worry about me. Help steal or Guyton.
Well, that 1 rep by Martin did look pretty bad, but he's a Hall of Famer. Things will happen. He's a little bit older too, so things will happen. But I gotta say that, but also I've been waiting 2 years for this touchdown. To see him and Deuce Vaughn in the end zone, and Deuce Vaughn still look a lot smaller to Kevontae Turpin was awesome.
Yeah.
But to the real answer, besides Parsons, because duh, but Eric Kendricks is, oh my gosh. We're talking about like no free agent signings, and we can still wrap around the front office about it. If he can keep up 80% of what he did, he was leading the team in sacks for most of the game until Lawrence got his strip sack in the end. He had 2 sacks from the middle linebacker position. He was going after he was reading everything. He knew exactly where everything was going. When's the last time we can say, oh, he knows? Never. Like, honestly, never. Leighton's a very smart player. He really was. But he didn't want to hit the hole because of injury, and I respect it. I've had injuries. You don't want to do anything to re-aggravate things. But Kendricks was shooting. He was always there. That interception, of course, it was tipped by a great play by Micah Parsons, but he knew what to do, and he went, and he still ran with the ball. He could have just fallen down or anything. He's there. He's screaming around. I said this before the show, but I think he's probably the smartest linebacker we've had since Sean Lee. And y'all know how much I'm in love with Sean Lee.
My pick, most of the plays that he made, you look over to Kendrick, you watch the all 22, and Kendricks is like, like saying something to him, like, hey, don't watch this. So, yeah.
That's completely right, Mitch.
Yep, Mike Zimmer's the guy. Knows how to run the offense.
So if we can get, like I said, we can get 80% of what he's done for the rest of the season. If Kendricks does 80% of what he did week 1, he's the best free agent signing we've had since who? Since honest.
Curse. Give J-Ron Curse his props for 2 years. That guy played his ass off with what he made.
Yeah,
baller.
No, after just watching halfway through the game, I'm like, Kendricks is already gonna be like we can re-sign him, right? Get him like a quick, nice little 2-year extension, real quick. Because by God, can we please just have someone with actual intelligence at middle linebacker and keep him? It was so much fun to watch.
Him being a mentor to Luafau, dude, would just be amazing.
And Overshown, because Overshown,
of course, yeah.
Yeah, I would say Overshown's basically a rookie, so he's got 2 young dudes, and then Damone Clark. Damone Clark was good, was fine, but they all get to learn from Kendricks, who is a Pro Bowler.
Now y'all.
But Damone Clark just being a compliment to those 2 guys is pretty nasty in itself, though.
Yeah.
You realize that Overshown and Luafau are the 2 linebackers.
Oh, I know, but I like Clark. I do.
Let's just pray they could, if Zach Martin doesn't retire or DeMarcus Lawrence wants to come back, they could at least get one of those 2 vets to come back, because the likelihood is Nealon, if Zach doesn't retire, I think they'll bring him back another year.
Oh yeah,
but the likelihood is this defense is going to be Nealon, Leofau, Overshown, young but talented next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of OGs though, DeMarcus Lawrence, he had a hell of a game yesterday too, man. Oh. My God.
It just feels right. Whenever he gets a sack or makes a play, it just feels right because he gets so disrespected. It's like I feel like I'm turning John Owning right now at the moment, but like he gets so disrespected. He does all the dirty work, and then he makes splash plays. What more do you want from your second defensive end?
I think he had like 6 to 8 pressures too.
Yeah,
I can't remember because I know Nealon had 6. I can't remember if Tank also had 6 or if he had 8. But I know the way he plays the run, man, Zimmer's system's so perfect for DeMarcus Lawrence is just it's awesome.
I wonder if we had like a, if we make it to the NFC title game, if Zach and DeMarcus Lawrence would come back on like discount deals just to be part of something special.
Zach
would. That final ring chase.
Zach would. I don't think D-Law's future career is not like anywhere near over compared to what Zach is, just because Zach's been getting beat up for God knows how long and also being perfect.
Tank can probably get a pretty sizable 3-year deal.
Yeah,
I guess.
Like another 3-year, 30 or.
Yeah, something like that. Like he just basically the deal he reworked for Dallas.
Exactly. We know that we're talking about the players who had the best game. You look at the offense, man, especially in that second half. Was that disappointing to you, Mike?
Not for me because in the first half when it was competitive, Dak was 9 for 21, 156 yards, a touchdown, no turnovers against the top defense, 2 rookie offensive linemen. Like, that's pretty damn good. And then they got up 20-3 and said, look, we see what this offense in Cleveland is. We see what's going on. The only way Cleveland gets back in the game is if Myles Garrett gets a strip sack, Ward picks off a pass, or JOK for a pick 6.
Yeah.
You ever seen the movie Waterboy?
Of course.
The only way they scored was Waterboy on defense doing a bunch of shit. So the guy got the ball, kneeled 3 times, then punted. That's basically what they were like. We're just going to waterboy them. Don't waterboy them. We're not going to let them beat us on defense. Their power side of the ball. So they went ultra conservative, and they didn't have Fergie. Cooks is in and out with an IV problem. Like Lamb is supposed to be on a pitch count. They only wanted him at about 70% of the snaps. So yeah, they just kind of we
played
got
it safe.
Yeah.
No need to force anything. That makes good sense.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts on the offense, Brenden, overall?
I have an apology I have to make. Ezekiel Elliott, for his role, he's back. Obviously, for his role, I'm not saying this is vintage Zeke. I'm not one of those people. But first play, he hurdles Denzel Ward. It gets called back for a holding call, but he hurdled a dude in 2024. And then he got that, of course, a great run, 10 carries, 40 yards. He gets. I forgot. So he had 10 at rushing attempts. I forgot what his receiving stats were. I don't think he did much of anything in the receiving end. But around that many attempts a game or his touches, give me it all. His blocking was still great, besides one call that wasn't a holding that they didn't call. But he was still picking up blitzes. If that's what we're using Zeke for, give it to me all day, every day. Seriously.
The running game utilization in the first half was like chef's kiss masterpiece, man.
And Deuce got the ball for a play. I got so pumped when I saw 42 back there.
His Zeke in his role was perfect. It's funny because there's three levels to the Zeke people. He's gonna be back to 1,000 yards. He's the man again. That's false. And then there's guys that believe that, like, oh, you think he's washed no matter what, he sucks. And then I get leaked into that when I'm like, no, I want the cheap guy. So if that's Zeke, that's like, people are like, Derrick Henry did this, that. I'm like, don't include me in that. I don't want no Derrick Henry at 7. I don't want to spend any money or high draft capital on running back. Let Zeke play this role, 7 to 10 carries, goal line, pass blocker, got a couple of screens. Perfect. They got it. They nailed it game 1.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 15 touches for Zeke a game. I'm great. I think it's perfect.
I even want a little bit.
Hey, do you know how right it felt to do this again? Like, I don't know how bad. I don't know why my brain is like, you missed this. I'm like, you know what? I did. I did it right back at the TV. And I'm like, this is right.
It's weird seeing him in 15, though, man.
My brain, I don't really care about that much. Kalen Carson looks awesome in 21.
His last play not being that center snap thing in the playoffs makes me very happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go on to looking at the booth. Tom Brady making his debut. What'd you think about his debut, Mike?
He was fine. I expect him to work to get better. He wasn't as good as Olsen, but if we know anything about Brady, he's going to put in the work to be the best he could possibly be. So he was okay.
I'd like to hear him call a more competitive game for Dak and the Cowboys too. I know he's doing the next 3, so that'll be nice to hear him call a better game for Dak and the offense and just get a little bit more detailed on a better game.
I agree.
Did you have any thoughts on Brady, Brenden?
No, because I was at my best friend's Cooper's house. The Broncos game was going on, so we had 2 TVs, and then since he's the owner of the house, his TV was louder than the Cowboy game, which is I'm not going to complain. So I didn't really get to hear Tom Brady that much, but since Dallas plays at noon next week, well, I guess this weekend, and then Broncos don't play till 3, so I'll hear a lot more Brady this time around.
Yeah, that's cool. What was that Broncos game like? I didn't watch any of that.
I'm trying my best not to cuss as much, but no, it's a shit show. They scored 2. They had 2 safeties in 1 quarter of football, and I just looked at him like, "Is this really how you're gonna win?" He's like, "I don't care, dude." Bo Nix didn't look good, but also Seattle's defense is a lot better than people think. Like they really do have some studs on that front 7. So he was running around. Cortland Sutton wasn't even the best receiver. Josh Reynolds was, which is gross. And then fumbles, turnovers. And also Geno Smith decided to turn into Michael Vick for a play. So that happened as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, interesting game for sure. Definitely an ugly game. Yesterday overall, just the world of football was pretty ugly, I think. It's fair to say.
Same here.
It seemed like the Thursday, Friday night games were the best games.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. The Houston game was fun to watch, and then the Miami game was fun. Sure. The Miami game was fun, and then the Bills somehow coming back and being up 21 after all that was crazy. So
yeah, that was.
You ready to see the worst game of the year? It's going to be Denver versus Pittsburgh. That's going to be a horrendous. Like when I mean bad, I mean.
God. Yeah,
this San Francisco Jets one is looking pretty bad too.
Yeah, I was just doing a little score update. 23-7, not looking too good for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets right now.
Yeah, the Jets defense does not look like a powerhouse. They look like they need Hassan Reddick's getting signed after this game.
Also, Nick Bosa absolutely murdered Tyron. Like when I mean murdered, I mean like, oh God, that's bad. And I got a holding call. So if Tyron goes down, Tyron's bringing you down with him.
Kind of sticking here with the defense, Mike, did Zimmer meet or exceed your expectations?
Exceeded. He was dominant. Like I didn't expect that early for his defense to play like that. Like they look great, and the way he used Micah Parsons to get like 4th and 2, just go over there. We're gonna set you up with a one-on-one on the guy. The guy freaks out, gets a false start. They did one where they made it like they were blitzing and dropped him in coverage, and J. Lou blitzed off the slot. Kendricks got a sack. Like it exceeded. I didn't expect them to look that good. I thought they'd be a better 3rd down defense, but I didn't think they would dominate like that. That was dominant.
What about you, Brenden?
You can't say anything but exceed. Like, first off, this defense is talented. Like we have studs everywhere. We lost depth pieces, but we still have studs. But he uses them better. Donovan Wilson became a battering ram at points. He got Kalen Carson. Of course, Al Harris is a big guy when it comes to DBs, but like Kalen Carson, he could have had 3 interceptions this game. If our 5th round pick corner had 3 INTs, I don't know what I would have done. Give him his starting role. I'm sorry, J. Lou, you're going to the bench as soon as Deron Bland comes back, and Deron Bland's going to the slot. Like that's how this is going to be.
But J. Lou was great.
I know, and that's what sucks. But if Kalen Carson should have had two. He should have had two. The first one was iffy. He might have been able to get there. Those other two, he played it perfectly. And I'm just like, oh God, we have another ball hawk. If you have all three, like J. Lou played phenomenal. I feel like I have to keep apologizing for how much I bashed him early on last year. And so I do continue to apologize. But dear God, if you have a ball hawk in Diggs who got his first back, you got DeRon Bland who had the most pick sixes in a season, and you have Kalen Carson who does it again, I'm done. Like, I don't know.
Just a beautiful thing, man. The way we've been drafting corners these last few years, it's really a sight to see. I mean, Trayvon Diggs, DeRon Bland, and now Kalen Carson, like in the 5th round, is absolutely ridiculous.
No first round pick corners.
Insane. Can we really evaluate our defense when you consider the Browns' issues on their O-line, Mike?
Oh, yeah. Look at the Rams. The Rams played great with 3 starting O-linemen out, And we've seen this defense play against teams compromised and not do anything with it.
Yeah.
So, you can evaluate, especially week 1. Teams have prepped and gotten, plans for everything they're going to do. And so, you could definitely do that. It was a good evaluating game for them.
Yeah, I know David Hellman did a little video there on Twitter talking about this game and saying this was a good victory by the Cowboys, regardless of the issues on the O-line for the Browns, because, they're still a strong team. They were a playoff team last year. We're on the road. And like you said, Cowboys have gone against compromised teams before and not played like this. So it was a good victory.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you have anything to add to that, Brenden?
Well, yeah, because they had a lot of players out. You still have Amari Cooper. Jerry Jeudy's not a slash because he did beat Kalen Carson on that quick out in the end zone. So he had that touchdown. And their defense is no joke at all. Like, they got studs everywhere. But, like...
Their secondary's filthy, too.
Yeah. And you got to think, I'm trying to quote this from Tom Downey from the video. I love Tom Downey and what he does because he's so bashful, and he will. But I believe what he said, this is the Cowboys' first time winning week 1 other than beating the Giants against a playoff team since, 2008.
2000,
wow.
Yeah. So, this is, we're talking, of course, we talk about, previewing the game, it wasn't that big. Well, it's like we said, how did you do it? Oh, you dominated? Oh, yeah. Okay. And now here we are. And so, this is big for morale and all this. And now you could, if you need to, because me and Mike were getting into arguments about it, but Fergie could come back sooner, but now you might not need him to because you got the win, and so you can rest up a little bit more.
Don't fall for the okie doke, dude.
I will.
There's no need. I don't think there's any need to rush Fergie back, to be totally honest. But that's something we'll talk about here in a little bit. You look at this game, Brenden. Was this game a good first test of the season, or will the Saints game be a better game to evaluate for you?
Okay, I feel like I've said this before, but my uncle is good friends with Dennis Allen, the head coach of the Saints. So I love Dennis. Really? Yeah, I love Dennis. He seems like a really cool dude. And of course, I'm not never rooting for anyone to lose their job. That was the Carolina Panthers. That's the Carolina Panthers. Me and Cooper were freaking out. I'm like, they put 47 on him. But also, it's the Carolina freaking Panthers, man. Kamara looked like it was back in 2017. Kamara. And Derek Carr was looking like he was back in with the Raiders. And all. That's not going to happen. Shaheed's not going to go off because you actually had corners that can guard. You had J.C. Horn, and you had nothing else for Carolina. It was J.C. Horn. And they traded Dante Jackson. Yeah, they had no one. They have no TBs other than J.C. They have Derek Brown, a defensive tackle, nothing else. No. The Browns have such a better roster than Saints will ever have probably in the next 3 years.
Well, you kind of feel similar to that, Mike?
Who was favored to win the Browns-Cowboys game?
Browns.
Cleveland. Yeah,
Cleveland. That's right. Yeah, don't let people try to take away big victories afterwards. I went through 6 for 24 on grass, 8 and 9 on the road. They haven't beaten anybody other than the Giants since 2009 opening week. Don't let people take that win away. That was a big win for Dallas.
Absolutely, it was. It really was. With Ferguson now, like we were just about to touch on, how much confidence do you lose in the passing game, Mike?
You lose some. You're talking about the. There's only really two big weapons. It's Lamb and Ferguson. And if he goes out, people are really going to be like, get on Lamb, put 3 on Lamb, do whatever to not let Lamb kill you, as much as possible. And I know they're not going to put 3 guys on Lamb every first down, but drives are going to have 2 or 3 third downs, and they're going to go, okay, this third and 5, he can't get the ball. Make him beat us somewhere else. And, Turpin didn't have a confidence-building game 1. He was one of my duds in the Studs and Duds article that dropped today. And, they went conservative and everything. But, I mean, James Brooks he was like the least impressive of all the weapons. Like, if you go down the line, even James Brooks had more yards in his 1 catch than Turpin. So, yeah, it would impact the offense quite a bit, the passing offense quite a bit if he's out.
What do you think, Brenden? You agree with that?
Yeah, because the biggest thing, which I'm kind of annoyed, they only tested once. I know it was almost intercepted, but like they went down the middle to Ferg once. They called Ferguson and Dak like the seam. That's the seam god right there because he just goes the seam route and it works. Yeah, because their connection is so great. They did it once, and like I said, it was almost intercepted. It did scare me a little bit. I'm like, oh well, that's great, but like you lose over the middle. They ran CeeDee Lamb running slants a lot, which was crazy, which was honestly very odd for an offense afterwards. But over the middle, they don't have to do much. They have to guard the outside and they have to guard the deeper routes. But over the middle, linebackers don't have to really think about it.
It'll be interesting to see if who might step up. Is there anybody that you feel confident that can step up in the absence of Ferguson being out for a couple of weeks, Brenden?
I feel so like first off, I love Hunter Lipke. I do. He's so much fun to watch. But if you're talking about your starting tight end going down and you're like, you know what, my fullback who can play tight end is going to step up is my most confident guy. That's awful. But it's Lipke. Mike McCarthy even said it. He's like, that's what's going to happen. And Lipke had more total plays at tight end. He had 20 to Stevens and Schoonmaker's 19. Not Stevens. Brendan Spanfort's 19. Yeah. Like, dude, your second-round pick from last year, and you're getting outplayed by a fullback.
That's crazy, man.
It makes me want to throw up.
Mike, is there somebody that you feel might be able to, that you feel confident could step up in the absence of Ferguson?
Stevens might be able to bring the seam god out, and run that route, but it's nothing you could say is confident because we haven't seen it yet.
That's fair. I was just wondering, maybe not necessarily a tight end, but could we see Turpin get some more opportunities? Could we see Tolbert maybe finally get some more targets? I know he didn't do much yesterday. I don't know how. Mitch wasn't too happy with Tolbert's performance yesterday, saying Tolbert stinks. Was Tolbert not playing very well? I didn't seem like he did.
Targeted.
One target. It was one target. It was way over his head.
You're getting your ass kicked. What are you so smug about? About time you fucking did something. God damn. Stupid. Yeah, I'm in it. I'm like, you're getting blown out. Now you're doing something? There's no reason to be smug when you're getting your ass kicked. Get it within 1 score. Yeah.
Mike is watching Monday Night Football.
Yeah. I'm going back and forth. I am, and it gets me irritated. Turpin had a drop, and they really didn't throw to him again. The minute he dropped that first one. Good job on his special teams work, though. And Tolbert didn't really do anything. So, no, I'm not going to put any of them to be Ferguson. Like, Ferguson's your number 2 guy. Yeah. That's it. So, none of them are going to be maybe Cooks would be stepped up.
I was just thinking of the tight end role itself. I wasn't thinking of the number 2 option on the offense.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying Lipke. Yeah. But no, it's got to be Cooks. Like, Cooks had that great touchdown, which was an odd blitz call play. Honestly, don't stop blitzing Dak. It doesn't work. Like, mainly up the middle. I feel like y'all, like, defensive coordinators like, hey, F it, we're going up the middle. Why? Dak sees you. Blitz off the edge from his backside, dude. He does a little bit worse with it. Like, stop. It's got to be Cooks.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Did you see enough from? Sorry. Does the Saints' performance week 1 give you any concerns, Mike?
No, they played the Panthers. We're not.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to jinx
I know,
it.
Brenden,
I
you
really
kind of already
don't.
touched on that.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it. I really, because then Derek Carr is going to go off again. We're like, well, shit, he's great, and that means this is bad. But do you really think Diggs is going to be beat by Shaheed? Do you really believe a go ball is going or a post route is going to get beat by him? I think Carson gets his first interception. He was already trying to jump routes against Amari Cooper. Oh, he's going to have so much more confidence against these guys. Chris Olave is a beast, but Chris Olave didn't do much. But, like, Chris Olave is a beast. Don't get me wrong. Who else?
This isn't – I don't think this is like the game you can just roll your helmet on the field and, like, expect to win. But I'm not too worried about them either because they don't have the – Carolina doesn't have the talent that we have, like you mentioned earlier. It was interesting to see, though. I mean, Derek Carr kind of, like, going back in the time machine, if you will, like you said, back to his Raiders days. Like, he was a pretty efficient game. But, again, that was against Carolina, so it's hard to evaluate that game as well.
I was rooting for him that week.
Carolina and New York are going to be fighting the Giants, not the Jets. The Giants are going to be fighting for the number 1 overall pick. Those two teams are going to be awful. Cam Jordan's hurt?
Breaking news from Mitch Crum.
Mitchell knows that I don't do the injury thing, so I think what he's doing is saying, I hope Cameron Jordan gets hurt with a leg injury.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I don't do the hurt. That ain't
No.
I don't
Also,
want that.
Cam Jordan's a funny dude. So, he is a beast. Their defense is no slouch. Marshawn Lattimore, Tyrann Mathieu, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan. I know they have Chase Young now, but that's just you.
They're going to be an issue.
Yeah, no, that's a scary team on defense. This is their offense doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What's the key to handling the Saints in the home opener, Brenden?
Contain Derek Carr. Honestly, I think Dallas will learn enough. Also, this is our home opener. Dak's gonna show out because they love playing at home. It's going to be a crisp 72 inside. It's going to be nice and beautiful. This is where Aubrey could break the record because he'll be indoors, so nothing messing with him. It's containing Derek Carr. That's how the Raiders defense – I mean, not the Raiders defense. Talking about Derek Carr. Well, the Saints defense played well against the Panthers. They were playing Bryce Young. Like, I feel like so many people talk crap on Dak Prescott. If you get anywhere near Bryce Young at the moment, like, shut up. Everything you have said is irrelevant. So it's containing Derek Carr's deep ball because I feel like that's going to be the main thing that could have hurt us. Diggs tries to jump a route. Carson tries to jump a route. And our safety goes, oh, shoot. I was supposed to be over there. And you see Zimmer, like, throw his headset.
Yeah, my answer was just not be the Carolina Panthers. I mean, honestly, that's what I've written down is to not be the Carolina Panthers like we've been talking about.
I think it's an easy formula to win games. Just don't be the Panthers.
Exactly.
See, we're all saying this. And that means we're going to lose to Carolina later on this year.
Trap game, man.
Yeah.
Trap game.
My whole thing is my answer literally was understand that the Saints are going to give you your best game because you're the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So you need to play like you're playing Cleveland, Baltimore, San Francisco, because they're going to play at the highest level. So as long as you match them, you're more talented and you'll win.
Well, just do what you did against Cleveland. Show your cards, do what you need to do in the first 2 quarters, maybe a little bit in the third, and play conservative, get your starters out of there.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, Mike. Who will score the first touchdown in the Saints versus Cowboys?
I'm going to go Rico Dowdle. I think Rico, basic, run play. I think that Rico will get it.
Like that. What about you, Brenden?
My real answer, I still think it's going to be Zeke. I think they're going to get to the 1 yard line. I didn't think a blitz play was going to go to Cooks. That's my fault. But do I want to get gross? Do I want to say Scoon? Just to be like,
Wow.
It's what I want to. No, it's going to be like a 2 yard touchdown like he's gotten all last year. But make a quick little
Lipke then.
No, I want to be gross. I'm gonna say Scoon maker. I'm the tight end. I'm all about tight ends. So screw it. I feel so gross right now. But no.
I would
I
love
wouldn't
it.
be mad if it was him. I think he would need that, man, to be honest.
I know, but I want to see like a 10+ yard touchdown. Honestly, not him running for 10 yards, but like on a route. That would make me feel better. Those 2-yard BS quick out routes, like hey, cool, dude. We can go pull a player in his 40s off the street. He can do that too. Like that doesn't show anything.
That's fair. I think I'm going to go Alvin Kamara. I feel like, as much as I like what I saw from our run game, I think he'll be the first one to get a touchdown. Not saying that they're going to run all over us or anything, but I feel like he's just going to score a touchdown.
So what Paul is saying, Paul is a hater. And so,
Exactly,
everyone watching this should just know that Paul is a complete Cowboys hater.
True Saints fan right here. All right, Brenden, give us a score prediction, sir.
I'm going to go a quick 27. No, my bad. 28-14. And it's going to be a high-scoring affair.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say it's going to be a high-scoring affair, but it'll be 2 scores.
Like it. How about you, Mike?
I think this is going to be closer. Saints defense is going to come to play, and they're going to give us their best shot. They got a lot of stars. 26-17 Dallas. We got more stars. We'll eventually pull ahead. We have the better quarterback, but 26-17. I think this is a close game in the fourth quarter.
All right, Cowboys score 5 more points in my universe than Mike's, and we blow them out in mine. Technically, I guess.
I'm going to say 27-14 Cowboys.
So I got a little bit closer, but we all have 2-score games.
Yeah.
We don't have it a 1-score game. So we all have Dallas winning comfortably.
Yeah. I think that seems fair, but we'll see what happens. All right, Mike, here we are with the views from the sidelines. Give us the good and the bad on Tyler Guyton's first NFL start.
He survived against the Defensive Player of the Year. He won 69% of the snaps against Guyton, only allowed 4 pressures and 1 sack, or 1 QB hit. It was considered a sack because the ball came loose, so a sack fumble. So, he played well enough. His technique gets bad too often, but he's young. He's going to have to work on that. He's transitioning to a new position. He looked better in the run game than most expected when he was drafted. He was getting movement on runs. He probably had better technical run blocking than pass blocking. But when you consider who he was going up against, like, I'll take what he did in the pass blocking game over the run. He played well overall for the situation he was in for a rookie.
Absolutely. Now, the good and the bad on Kalen Carson's first NFL start, Mr. Mike.
The bad, really, the weaknesses were that he didn't bring down at least one of the interception attempts. Like, that's what we do here, sir. You better learn to bring those in because Diggs and Bland are going to be on you if you don't. Diggs even said he owes them 70 push-ups or sit-ups or whatever.
Those push-ups.
Yeah, push-ups. The best thing about him is his explosion going forward. So he's playing off ball mostly and watching the quarterback and the route, and when he sees something coming, his ability to get he's too far back right to the guy is impressive. Like, it might be the best I've seen of the 3. Like, he almost jumped the first throw that was at him that he had no business jumping, but his first step was so quick, it worked for him. And then he was even a little early, like in slow motion replay. He was a little early on the pass deflection on Cooper. It was too quick to notice it by human eyes and like fast times, but he has that kind of go. There's the play go. And I didn't even see that. He also plays physically in the run, which is nice. So I don't know how Al Harris is like a magician. I don't know how Dallas does it, but they be pulling like legit starting corners out of 5th-round picks, which is incredible.
All right, here we are, Brenden. Brendan's bashing. Excuse me. Week 1 edition. I can't talk tonight, guys. Give it to us, Brenden.
Oh, first off, hey, it happens. I I'm going to go with the QB position in general because Daniel Jones doesn't deserve. I see so much hate going to him. I'm starting to feel bad. Like, I couldn't care less for the Giants, and I'm like, damn, he's getting this much. Dude, those jerseys, he almost played as bad as those jerseys looked. And I didn't think that was possible. Those were horrendous. They looked like they should be in like a UK soccer team.
Bro, those are awful.
And like the rookie quarterbacks, Bears win. Will Levis didn't deserve to win that game. None of them deserved to win that game. Jaden Daniels didn't look great. Bo Nix didn't look good. You know, they still had a chance of winning, which would have been cool and all that. But oh my gosh, you have Sam Darnold out destroying you in that sense. And I'm not even going to talk about Kirk Cousins. I won't. I can't. You give that man 40 mil or was it 80 mil?
140.
You give him $140 million to look like that. Pittsburgh has a good defense. Don't get me wrong. We will face a good defense. Brother, you have those weapons and you did nothing. You looked awful. As this Vikings, check down. Oh, here you go, Pitts. Check down. That was awful. The QB position is what I'm crapping on this year. Luckily, Dallas won 33-17. I can't complain much. I can maybe complain that Mike McCarthy didn't call a timeout before half. That's the worst thing I could say.
Daniel Jones, since getting paid, has thrown more pick sixes than he's thrown touchdown passes in games.
If Dak did that, I don't want to know about the death threats he would get. Like, I don't want to know how bad that would be. If Dak ever did
that would be.
Oh, God.
That would be trending on Twitter like nonstop.
Yes.
And the gross things you would see on Twitter. Oh, dude, it's
You'd have to log off of Twitter for a while.
Hey, but
a decent person.
But Tiki Barber said he would take Daniel Jones 100 times out of 100 times over Dak.
That was just a fanning. He was just being.
Oh no, Tiki's an idiot. So no, I feel like
off his 15 touchdown breakout year. 15 touchdown was his breakout year, and they paid him all that money. Giants deserve what they get.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, here we are with our new segment, Cardinals Corner. For those of you who don't know, Mike and I made a bet about the Arizona Cardinals. I believe the Cardinals will win 8 or more games, and Mike does not. I'll be honest, I think the Cardinals are a playoff team this year. That being said, every week we will be updating you guys on the Cardinals record. And unfortunately, after taking a 17-3 lead in halftime, the Cardinals lose to the Buffalo Bills 34-28. Now, Mike, I would like to make it official, but if the Cardinals do win 8 or more games, will you eat the Red Baron pizza live on stream?
Yes, I'm not too much worried about it. So, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll eat it on here I'll have it right here, and I'll eat it
while we're doing the show.
Can we all eat it? Honestly,
yeah,
we all just have Red Baron pizzas.
You can enjoy it, and I'll eat it like God.
You're gonna see the biggest smirk on Paul and I's face. Like, man, this is really good stuff. Mike's just me over here throwing up in a bucket.
Red Baron with Louisiana hot sauce, dude, hits like you just don't believe, bro.
Dude, that thin crust pizza just
seriously for frozen pizza, it's insane. It really is. Okay, Mike.
Games.
And you have to cook it in the pizza oven too.
I will.
But I thought a Red Baron out of the pizza oven would be, man.
It would not be good because it's bad frozen pizza. It would not be good. It would be a waste of my pizza oven, but I will do it.
All I can hear is Mike being uncultured in the frozen pizza.
All right, Mike. Over under 6 total touchdowns for Kevontae Turpin in 2024, Mike.
I'm going to go under. I got him with 2 returns, 2 receiving, 1 rushing. So I'll go under 5.
Brenden?
I'm going to go over just because
you're wearing the jersey.
I am. But also, he got 1 week 1, and that was an awesome return. But I feel like he's going to have juices here. I don't think he's going to get close to any records, so don't ever get me anywhere near that. He won't. That's okay. But I think he's got juice within this year. He's like, I feel like he's finally done like, hey, my vision hasn't been the best when it comes to running the ball or returning. And so he finally finds the block and he cuts all the way through.
Yeah. I'll go over as well. I think he's going to get more opportunities in the passing game. And, of course, we just saw him get his first return special teams touchdown. But yeah, I'll say 6 or more for sure. So I'm going to take the over on that. Brenden, give us one word. Micah Parsons having 9 quarterbacks pressures on week 1 is blank.
Dominant. It's just, dear God, dude. Like, we know, like, he wants to play. Now, that's why he was playing in the fourth quarter on that garbage drive. But he's this. I can say this about so many players now, and it feels weird. But he's playing with his hair's on fire, and he's just sprinting, and he's gonna murder someone. Like, it's just like, whoever has the ball, I'm sorry, and he just bullies him. I feel like after I saw DeShaun Watson throw him off the first time up for a stack, Micah's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you. It's go time. Like, you're not getting away from me." And look what happened. He was there every time, creating plays. Eric Kendrick's interception. He was just there, everywhere.
Yeah, Mike, how about you?
Expected. At this point, I was more like, damn, Nealon got 6? That's crazy. But Parsons out, especially with the 2 offensive tackles out, I was like, yeah, this guy's going to murder all day. The funny thing is he was killing the other guard that people consider with Tyler Smith and Zach Martin is Joe Benantonio.
Joel Bitonio.
Yeah, and he went against him, I think, 3 times and murdered him all 3 times. Like, unblockable. So, but you expect it now. He's that level of player.
Mike and I are the same person. I swear to God on this, because I was legit, as he was talking, I totally forgot about the reps against Bitonio, and I was just about to say it, and then he brings it up.
It was connected.
Yeah.
The word I used was normal. You know, I think Micah Parsons is about to become the unquestioned best defensive player in football now that Aaron Donald has retired. This was no doubt a big game for Micah, but this was just him scratching the surface in this Cowboys' new defense, I feel like.
It'll be him and Chris Jones. Chris Jones was so dominant against the Ravens. It'll be a running for them too, but oh my gosh, Micah Parsons, his speed is unmatched until DeMarion Overshown showed up on this roster.
That Ravens offensive line looked booty, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not taking anything away from Chris Jones. I'm just saying they didn't look very good.
Well, I know. Just seeing Chris Jones just forklift someone with one arm, throw him to the side, and just keep going. I'm like, you're too big to be doing this. You are, but damn, you're good.
Yeah. All right, here we are, top 5. Top 5 tonight is favorite things about fall. Mike, give us number 5.
Produce. So apples, root vegetables, mini greens are in their best state here in the fall. So yeah, squash, almost all squashes are best in the fall. So you get to have a lot of my favorite type of produce and is best right now. So that's a big one for me for the fall.
What's your favorite way to use an acorn squash, Mike?
I like to hollow it out, use the middle to make something, say a risotto, and then roast it, and then spoon it back in to the roasted squash vessel, and then eat it out of it. So you can eat more of the squash in there and everything, and it looks really nice because acorn squash is pretty, so it looks good as a serving dish and everything. It's no Red Baron, but whatever.
Brenden, number 5 on your list, sir.
Horror movie / haunted houses is mine.
Beautiful, yeah.
It's so great. It's so far. I feel like I swear I probably talked about this last year because duh. But I was such a puss as a kid. Like I didn't want to go near anything. I'm like, why would I be near it? It's gonna kill me. Why would I do it? And now I love being terrified. Going to Cutting Edge last year might have been the year before. My memory sucks. But I was in the back, and I was targeted. They give you like a glow stick ring to wear around your neck. I was targeted. Cooper told me afterwards, I was told to be quiet more than half the time because they were going to get you. Like, that bitch! And then there's like this clown type dude just came out and it went right to my face as he takes the ring off my face. I'm like, oh. The best thing I do is I start making jokes, and that's when you know I'm truly like, oh, I crap my pants, I'm terrified. So yeah, I made one of the directors was following us. We're going to Cutting Edge again this year, but like one of the directors was following us. I made buddies with him. I made him laugh, and I felt like I won. I'm like, y'all can't F with me. I'm friends with your boss. You can't do anything.
Right. Yeah. Cutting Edge, I think, just recently voted the best haunted house in the nation. So it's a good one for sure if you've never been.
It's so terrifying.
Who lives in the Metroplex. Number 5 for me, I'm going to go with hoodies, man. I don't get to wear them very often. I always appreciate a nice soft hoodie. Hoodie weather is probably my favorite, especially when you can wear it doesn't sound like it should go together, but a hoodie and shorts is like the best weather for me. When it's cold enough to wear a hoodie, but you can still wear shorts too. Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but I don't know why. That's my ideal fall fits, when it's cold enough for a hoodie, but also you can still get away with shorts. I know that doesn't make sense.
You lost me with the last part, but I'm with you on the hoodies.
You wear hoodies in like 90 degrees in Cali. Everybody in Cali wears hoodies regardless of the temperature, so I don't want to hear it.
Well, I'll explain.
How do y'all do that? How do y'all wear hoodies in 90 degrees?
I will explain coming up.
Oh, okay. All right, number 4 on my list, I'm going to go with soup. Love soup weather, love a good soup. It's getting colder. Lots of good soups. I know that's a random one, but I kind of had to breeze through this top 5 tonight, so I'm going with soup.
We're similar. My number 4 is heartier foods, stews, braises, soups.
Yeah.
Those, in summer and 110-degree weather, eating a big old stew or a hot soup isn't the best in the world.
It don't hit.
When it gets to fall, that's when you can eat the heartier foods. It kind of goes in with the produce. So, yeah, see, look at that. I'm with you.
Damn,
Yes,
I just
sir.
got
All right,
jumped
Brenden,
in my spot. I feel hurt.
No, what's number 4 on your list?
Oh, well, I went with. Yeah, I can tell you said hoodie. I went with sweats in general. Because, dude, the first day in class, I get to wear sweatpants. Oh, dude, it's game over. Like, it's all smiles, nothing but comfort. And I feel like I'm gonna get a weird look from Mike, but my favorite thing to work out, of course, when you're not working out legs, is it's cold enough. Like, you wear a sweatshirt and you wear that. You take it off. You have a tank top on it, so you're still comfy in your legs, but you got a tank top to make sure you know what you're doing, and it's the best. Like, I keep talking to my parents about it. I'm like, the first day I'm able to wear sweats this year, biggest smile on my face. I'm gonna be feeling great.
I like it. Well, Brenden, give us number 3 on your list.
I went with. I guess I kind of talked about it a little bit. But I went with holidays in general. It would be higher, but I love Christmas too much. Christmas would make anything higher. But like it's the start of the holiday season, because then you got next month we got Halloween. And you're like, oh, that's great. Well, then you got Thanksgiving again, so you get to be with your family, get to watch football and all this. That's just great. It's just such an awesome time.
I like that answer.
It really is. What about you, Mike?
My number 3 is holiday weather. So clothes, holiday clothes. So the hoodies and what I call lounge pants, which is noise people. What it is it's Disney pajamas, but I walk and wear them to the store. So they put lounge pants when you buy them on Shop Disney, because they want people to not just that don't wear pajamas to buy them like me. And so that's my thing. And the reason I wear hoodies, now I don't wear it when it gets that hot, but the reason I wear hoodies as much as possible is because I'm fat. But I can hide it in a hoodie. Like I can take pictures at Disneyland where I look kind of like slim when I have the hoodie and the shirt tucked in and everything. So that's why I like hoodies and lounge pants. So yeah, the best thing about fall is getting in that cover my fat weather.
I hear you, man. I hear that. Number 3 for me is gotta love the weather, especially out here in Texas with the hot summer. Yeah. It gets cooled off. You can wear flip-flops, or you can wear a hoodie, or you're just not sweating and miserable all day. You don't regret going outside. So definitely love the fall weather for sure. Number 2 on my list, though, the scary movies, man. Kind of like you, Brenden, with the movies and the haunted house. Love to be scared. All the good scary movies come out around this time, it feels like. So really excited for the movies that are coming out.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Mike, what's number 2 on your list?
Oh,
go ahead.
Well, don't worry about it, Brenden.
No, go ahead.
The reason I don't have scary movies on mine at all is because I don't really get scared. Like we talked about Alien earlier, where I was like, oh shoot, that made me jump. I'm shocked. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have scary movies, haunted houses on my list because I like to go to haunted houses to see the creativity, but I've literally never been, not even jump, nothing. I don't have that. Like, people do that at the house, hide and like put a cold soda on your back or and I've never. I just look like it just doesn't work.
Well,
You'd ask my brother; he'll comment.
The biggest thing for me though, I compare getting scared to kind of like getting taking a hit in football. You're all nervous about it. Like, how's this gonna go? Once your first scare happens, you're like, I want more. Like, where is this shit? Like, I'm prepared. And it's just like that's what happens. I'm like, when we go walk in, you're like, why am I doing this? Like, why did I pay someone to actually try to mess with my health? Why am I here? So like, oh yeah, now I know why. This is gonna be great.
I like going into places with people that are like that though, because it's fun to see them react.
Dude, I'm a party. How can I say? I'm a party.
Is it
like
my
the confidence there, sir?
Is it
number 3 for you?
Football.
Mike. Oh,
Football.
okay.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Told you. Don't get
Brenden, what about you?
Well,
number 2 for you.
Y'all have said my 1 and 2 as your last answers. I said weather because Texas weather sucks. This is the short amount of time you can put the windows down in your car. You feel that breeze. Like, night driving is like peak and all that. You just feel it. Everything's calming. And then for my number 1, Mike just said, fall is not a season. It's football season. That's what this is. But I can just say sports in general because then we got the MLB playoffs about to start. We'll have basketball coming back on, and of course we have football right in the swing of things. It's awesome. You can't go around anywhere. I was like, oh, that's another major game going on. It's just so awesome.
I agree with you there. Mike, number 1 on your list.
Number 1 on my list. What do you think it is if it's above football? What do you think it's related to? Disney Halloween. My favorite time of year to go to Disneyland. I dressed up as Peter Poole this year, hence the porn star 70s mustache I got going. That's my favorite. I spent a little over $500 on merch, shirts, hoodies, socks, just all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, that's definitely number 1.
Number 1 on my list, man, got to be football season. I mean, come on. It's not fall season. It's football season. Pretty easy there for sure. Good top 5 tonight. I know kind of random, but I thought it was
it was fun. I really liked it.
Mitchell does not need it to be fall season to be booze. This if the day ends in Y, Mitchell has booze. By the way, Mitchell's right. The last time I was scared was the original Candyman. I don't know what it was about that movie. Tony Todd's a genius, but I would not say the name Candyman 5 times in the mirror.
The OG Candyman is like terrifying, dude.
Tony Todd's a legend.
Elite.
Like, oh my gosh.
All right, hour and 12 minutes. We can get it under an hour and 15. Let's close this thing out. I'm CD
Mike, remind me where I can find you on Twitter.
CD Piglet.
Brenden_Smith 26.
Guys, I'm Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. We appreciate you joining us, and we will see you guys next week.
The porn stash stays looking good with the little trim coming.